little tutorial on climbing. Let's check it out. Here we have some of the pro girls. Adelaide is the place to go. Now you can notice different cadence, different climbing techniques. We have out the saddle, in the saddle. We've got Freely on the left, amateur rider, and we've got the professionals on the right. Similar styles. Basically, use a gear that you can turn the pedals over. Probably 90 cadence is better, but everyone here is just cruising along, so not too important. But if you have any knee strain, bring cadence up. So you can see we're tapping out, me and Freely, just going real cash in the rainforest there. All right, start at Norton Summit, and we have the Saturday morning group. And these guys, every Saturday between 8:20 and 8:30, they come up Norton Summit, and it's a fast ride. There's some hitters in the bunch. This is probably one of the fastest climbing bunches in Australia that I'm aware of. The fastest climbing bunch in the world that I know of. Even just a few weeks ago, there was the guys at the front, some of the vegan teenagers did a 12:40 up Norton Summit. My best is a 12:57. And Thursday evening, 7 p.m. as well, Tower Hotel, some guys come out. But the Saturday morning bunch is the fastest, it's the biggest, aggressive, very aggressive, but friendly aggressive. Basically, it's just to jump on the front, hammer it, and if you get dropped, you get dropped. So good, everyone waits at the top for you. So it's a friendly aggressiveness. Right now, we're probably doing about 3 city walks, and just cruising along there. So you can see different techniques in the saddle, out the saddle. You got a lot of controversy here, a lot of discussions with cadences and stuff on the forums, on the internet, coaches, etc. Here's a gap. See that gap open up? Close the gap as soon as possible. I try to. Otherwise, if you let the gap open up, then, especially at this speed, you're going to be struggling to catch back on. So I could see that wattage wasn't too crazy, so close the gap. Right in front of me there, black jersey. Well, everyone's got black jerseys on. But you can see differences in cadences as well. Basically, if you're spinning at 90 cadence and you're producing the same power at 70 or 80 cadence, you're going to be able to go longer at the 90 cadence. Simple as that. So if your cadence is between 90 and 100, you're going to be able to go a lot longer. It's basically like doing EPO. It's almost the same as doing EPO. If you can, let's say you can push out 300 watts at 60 cadence, if you can bring up to 90 cadence, you're going to double almost how much you can ride that wattage at. All right, so you want to have at least 90 to 100 cadence on the climbs, and you're going to go a lot longer. You know, if you don't have a power meter, it feels really weird because you're like, oh my god, I'm not going anywhere, I'm just spinning out. But when you got a power meter in front of you on your little Garmin, you got your power meter on your bike, and you can see that guy on the left just grinding, getting dropped. You know, just I mean, this is, if you're grinding at this bunch, you're going to get popped. This guy here on the left, very strong rider, but again, we're going too fast to grind. Same in the Tour de France. Like these days, Jan Ullrich would just get smashed. Jan Ullrich would get fucking smashed because everyone spins now and everyone's riding to power. So if you're not spinning, you're going to get smoked by guys of similar fitness who are spinning. Does that make sense? Like Lance Armstrong, Jan Ullrich. I would say Jan Ullrich had the bigger motor because he could grind, but Lance smashed him because Lance could spin, and they're doing a similar wattage. But day after day in the Tour de France, Lance has had fresher legs. Everyone's on the same drugs and shit, same doctors, whatever. But in my opinion, it came down to cadence in the Tour de France with Jan and Lance. Norton Summit, beautiful climb here, beautiful climb. Heels up or heels down, it's personal preference. You can see, someone said saddle forward, saddle backwards. It's personal preference. But cadence, that's not personal preference. That's physics. And you'll definitely hear me beating my compact crank and cadence drum a lot. But yeah, bike setup, personal preferences, you know, whatever, you're close enough's good enough. But cadence for sure, between 90 and 100. And the higher your wattage, the higher your cadence wants to be. The top sprinters, you know, hitting 2,000 watts for 10 seconds, their cadence, like Mark Cavendish, is about 130. Alright, so there's not many people on the planet that can spin out a 53.11 on the flat in the sprint. There's not many people on the planet that can do that. So I'm not sure why most people are running 53s. Because when you do the maths, you're doing like 78k an hour or something, 130 cadence. Beautiful climb, Norton Summit. I Everested this, did it 33 times in a row last November, 2014. And this is beautiful, it's a train, this is a long train here. You can see the riders coming up. This is the, whenever you see a bunch of cyclists in a long line, they're fucking hammering it. When you see a bunch of riders bunched together, it's not as hard. But when it's strung out like this, it is like strung out in the gutter. So this is really cool. I love this stuff, man. That's what I love about Adelaide. Just, people just join in, have a crack, have a go. There's no race numbers, there's no entry fee. It's just a common passion of fucking flogging yourself up a fucking hill, Just come and have a crack. It's fucking awesome, man. I love it. And then you compare his times on Strava later on. A bit of banter. It's really good, man. I just fucking love the community in Adelaide. So you can see, look at that amount of torque. We'll call him Blue Jersey. I won't use any names in this video. Keep it low key. But you can see Blue Jersey. The amount of torque he's putting through his bike is huge. I wouldn't let this guy ride my bike. He's gonna be fucking thrashing it. But I can feel the legs burning. Look at that. Just that's big torque. That's big torque. Not big power, but big torque. But dropped because now the power is going up. Look at that, the gap's opening up. And you can almost tell I'm spinning a high cadence. You can see how my handlebars are wobbling. Spinning, I'm probably doing about 110, 120 cadence right now. Maybe 450 watts, 500 watts, 550, just to close the gap. And you can see the rider in front of me, cadence a bit low. He's going to get popped soon as well because it's look at that guy on the red and white bike there. Look at that spinning. See, he's going to be fresh. His legs are fresh. The rider behind him, there you go, done. So what I'm doing is I'm closing a gap. If a rider gets dropped, I'll go around him. That guy on the left, done as well. Because when you're riding at that wattage and you're grinding, you're just going to blow your legs up. You're going to blow your legs up. It's a bit like being a runner and picking up a fucking 10 kilo backpack. You're just going to fuck your stride up, and you're going to get dropped when the hammer goes down. So look, see what all the riders now have in common. Everyone's got the cadence. Because to push the watts, you have to push the cadence. Alright? And all the guys who just got dropped, if they were pushing in cadence, they could definitely stay up. Stay with us, for sure. But if I was pushing their gearing, I would get dropped as well. Alright? And I used to do that sort of gearing, and that's why I wasn't as good as I am now. Even though I don't even race anymore. I'm just a fucking poser with my lightweights and my carbon bikes, but it's all good. So as long as you're having fun. As long as you're out there having a crack, it doesn't matter if you get dropped or whatever. Just as long as you're out there. Norton Summit is a great climb. You can see, look, there's fucking no cars here, man. This is just basically cyclist heaven. Cyclist heaven. Norton Summit, Adelaide. Check it out on Strava. And maybe 7 kilometres from the city. It's fantastic. I live 10 minutes from the start of Norton Summit, purposely. So you see cadence. In the saddle, out the saddle. Basically, you want to spend most of your time in the saddle. Just less effort to be in the saddle. Out the saddle for sure, if you've got to do a big burst of power, or if you want to get out the saddle for 20 seconds, 10 seconds to work some different muscle groups. But you want to spend at least 90% of your time in the saddle. That's most efficient. If you've got a bit of discomfort in the saddle area, get out the saddle for a few minutes, or a few seconds rather, keep the blood flowing. A lot of people complain of saddle discomfort because they just sit in the saddle and don't let any blood flow. So you want to make sure you get out the saddle every few minutes, just for a few seconds, get the blood flowing and friction minimised. And this is real time. This is not sped up. This is not fast forwarded or slowed down. You can see we're fucking motoring. We are fucking motoring up here. The guys in the front are just fucking riding to wattage and just hammering it. Alright? So this is... If you can think down below, any bunches in Australia that is fast, a weekly bunch that's as fast as this guy's, the Saturday morning crew, Norton Summit, 8:20 to 8:30. If you know any bunches in Australia faster or fitter that climb, let me know down below, because I've travelled Australia a lot and I've lived in every capital city in Australia, bar Hobart, and I've never seen a bunch ride this fast. This is elite, hardcore level. These cunts fucking smash it, alright? Girls come out as well. Some of the elite girls come out as well. So it's a fucking awesome training, man. You can't beat this for training. This is so awesomeness. And again, it's good because it's pretty safe. One time one of the guys crashed, but no one stopped because we just looked around and he's alright. But if you're doing a fast bunch in the flat and you crash, and people breaking legs and shit, but at least if you're going up a hill and you crash, not really much is going to fucking happen, except for you just get dropped. Spinning it, just cranking up here. It's a bit of an optical illusion, isn't it? High cadence. It's like you're not putting much power out. But look at Lance Armstrong, you know. Lance and Chris Froome, you know, best gear on the planet. And just cadence, man. You got to have the cadence. You want to push the big watts, sprinter or climber, time trialist, you simply just got to have cadence. Otherwise, in 2015, you're going to get smoked by riders who are of similar fitness, but of better strategy. Cruising up here, this is coming up to the last hairpin. Looks like a rider in red coming up. BMC rider. Who's that? Who is that BMC rider? He's not a weekend warrior. He actually rides the BMC. Can you pick it? Can you pick who that is? Hint. Set the hour record this year. And we're going past. So, Adelaide's awesome, man. It produces more elite level cyclists than any city on the planet. From downhill to track to road to vets to women's to masters to juniors. Adelaide produces more elite level cyclists than any other city on the planet. It's a playground for cyclists. Change of guard up the front. Change of guard up the front. So I'm just sitting on. I mean, normally I do more work. Well, actually, I never do any work. I just sit on. I just pretend I'm filming all the time. But by sitting on, you do save a bit of wattage, especially at this speed. Especially at this speed, there is a bit of an aero advantage. You can see right in front there, Silver Hub, looks like a power tap. And again, look at all these riders, cadence. No one could be on the front pushing big gears because you're just going to get popped. Good stuff here. Very good stuff indeed. Different bikes, Canyon, and they're selling in Australia now. Canyon stockers, I think they're made by Giant. And it doesn't really matter what bike you ride. All what matters is, can you push the watts? Can you push the cadence? Look at that cadence there. Perfect technique on the Mr. Canyon. Perfect technique. It's just fluid design. Look at that, passing riders. It's like on electric bikes. We're fucking flogging up here. Flogging it up here. Probably going to go sub 15, or maybe a little bit quicker. But it's fantastic. So what I'm doing on this bunch, I'm generally sitting last wheel. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like the 4 riders left. Another surge here. Another surge. You can see me changing my fingers on the right there, just changing gears a bit. Beautiful day for it, Norton Summit. Very nice. This is a great area. It flattens off a bit here. But that's a good thing about power, you just hold watts. Because speed varies so much. The wind, the terrain, the road surface, tyre pressure. Average speed means fuck all. If you want to get your best times, just pace the power. And over a few weeks of riding with a power meter, you work out what you can hold for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, etc. And then you can just start the climb at that wattage and just hold it. You just hold it. Very good. Another rider on the left coming up. Just zoom, passing. When you're passing other riders, it's always good not to pass too close because they might get a bit startled, especially when you're going this fast. So they think you're like a motorbike or something. So you just want to, say good morning, good afternoon. Let them know you're coming along. Don't want to startle them. And when you do pass them, don't pass them too close. Otherwise, they might swing in and take everyone out. Adelaide, Radelaide. Best place for cycling. Coming up to the last little bit of Norton Summit here. Maybe another 20 seconds, 30 seconds to go. Yeah, there's a bit of a surge here. There we go. Look at that cadence. Look at the cadences in these guys. Look at that. See? When you fucking spin, you can accelerate really well. You see that acceleration then? It's high cadence. High cadence. Look at that gap they just opened up. So now this is where tactically, you got to, as soon as the gap opens, you have to close it straight away, especially in a sprint like this. Now I've left it too long. The gap's opened up, and to catch back on the watts, I've got to be doing 800 watts to catch back up. But that's not really going to happen. So that's the finish line. The little tree on the left, little shed. Boom, Norton Summit done. So as soon as the gap opens up in cycling, you want to be closing it ASAP. All right, leave your questions down below.
I think they go straight up and then Yeah, it's probably about that.
Yeah, it's normally 3 hour ride.
Low thought,
And then a couple of weeks.
no more.